New York Attorney General takes step toward seizing Trump assets. The judgments were filed with the Westchester County Clerk's Office March 6th. Public records
That's where his
show.
golf course is. Now,
that's where an estate is.
That's and his estate. And now that it's been filed, if he tries to sell that property, the judgment gets paid first unless it stands behind the bank.
Do you want Letitia James doing this, though, as a Democrat?
I think it's her job to do it if she sued Trump and gotten a $450 or $500 million judgment. Do I want her to do it? Yeah, I want her to do her job, and that's what she's doing. You know, listen, the only thing that complicates all of this is Donald Trump. This happens every day in America. If you lose a civil case, you get a judgment, you go to court and enforce the judgment, and then you hire someone to collect on the judgment, or you resolve it. So he's being treated like every other American that he allegedly wants to represent.
Treated like every other American?
Yeah.
Brad?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me clarify, he's being treated as every other American who breaks the law, right? I mean, this is what happens when you break the law or found liable.
Right.
If you're found liable, there is a punishment. And that's the reality is Donald Trump has created this situation for himself because if it were just this case, he would probably have the resources to pay this. But the problem is because he keeps saying bad things about, for instance, Jean Carroll, the woman who was able to the jury found him civilly liable for rape.
Civilly liable.
He had a huge sum, and then not for rape, sexual assault.
Judge said there was no difference.
And then he had to go back because he kept talking about the situation, and this judgment went higher. So he's creating these problems for himself.
So you worked for the former president. What happens if Letitia James starts seizing his assets in 4 days' time?
Well,
he's already saying hands off Trump Tower.
I'm sure she would love to take Trump Tower and put illegal immigrants in there. Instead, that's what she's done with almost all of the other legendary buildings that have been vacated across New York City. I mean, this case is unprecedented. The numbers are unprecedented. There are 30 different bonds that have been that have said they cannot support this. They cannot support this high level, this high dollar number. And for what? What are they trying to get out of him? They're trying to absolutely get rid of all of his money and all of his assets so he cannot run for president.
So
that's what this is about.
Not everything goes up and to the right, Denise, but what we saw in the primary was when something happened to Donald Trump legally, his poll numbers went up and to the right time and time again. And so I wonder if Letitia James goes through with this in 4 days and we start seeing the video, the images, both, what does that mean in the general?
You're right. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen now that we're in the general. And I think that both sides have to be measured and be very careful about how they play this moving forward.
Oh, come on, measured?
No,
I'm
just giving my advice for somebody who wants to win. So I think that if all of the cases that were coming against Donald Trump weren't just fueled by Democrats who campaigned on trying to take Donald Trump down, you'd have a very different response from the public. But because these people, Letitia James in particular, literally campaign on taking him down, I think it's much harder to believe. I also think Donald Trump needs to be really, really careful because begging people for money and not having enough friends in your millionaire class to actually help you get out of a bind seems to undercut some of his fabled life of being a billionaire.
I want to show you the headline in the Wall Street Journal today. Wall Street Journal, Trump is in line for a $3.5 billion windfall from stake in Truth Social. Truth Social, if it goes public, could potentially send a few billion the former president's way. So why not wait and see if there's a liquidation
event
for Donald Trump?
Well, he can buy it back, but the timing just doesn't work for him. The other thing is this: he's in line to get this. They're going to do what we call a SPAC. He's in line to get this $3.5 billion, but he can't touch that money or that stock for 6 months.
He couldn't sell for 6 months.
He couldn't sell for 6 months.
Right.
But he's done this before. If you remember the Taj Mahal, right? He took that public. He had a lot of investors and stuff. And then when at some point he dumped the stock, bankrupted the company, and none of the investors got paid any of what they invested.
Yeah, I just have to push back on the narrative that Donald Trump is begging for money to support these different legal cases. I think he's doing what every other politician does and should do, which is going to the American people, going to your constituents, and saying, please support me as I run to support you. He's simply sending out fundraising emails, and he has tons of billionaire supporters that would be happy to throw money at him.
America bail him out.
They're at Mar-a-Lago. They would love to write him millions and millions of dollars worth of checks.
Should be fine.
There are legal reasons.
Why are we talking about it? He should be fine.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.